brothers and sisters in Christ. I'm going to Kota Belud today. God willing, I can reach Kota Marudu as well. It's my cuti Sabah. Traveling throughout Sabah to sell my books. That's the main source of my income for the past few months since the 1st of January 2022. And I really thank the Lord that in Ranau I sold 10 copies of my book in one church, and the church has requested 10 more. So they will help me sell the other 10, so it will be 20 books in that one church. But now I am heading north, west coast, to Kota Belud first. Perhaps I can drop my books. In fact, I've already sold some books in Kota Belud and Tenghilan. But there are many churches that I've not given any books, so I hope that I can just drop by a couple of churches and then drive on to Kota Marudu. That is the target for today. But I do not know whether I can go as far as Kudat. I may or may not, but we will see. The weather is fine. It's not that sunny. It is 10 or it's 8:35 minutes in the morning, 8:40 in the morning. Yeah, the sun is out, but it's quite cloudy as well. So perfect weather for driving because it's not so hot, not too bright. But let's see how it goes. Yeah, we are reaching this Acacia housing estate. The other day I came with a friend because it's really cheap, 155,000 ringgit. I mean, that is a top floor, 4th floor. But on my return trip I may drop by to have another look. These are cheap apartments or affordable apartments, but the second or third floor I think costs 220,000 K, which is not cheap. So the cheapest you have to walk to the 4th floor. There are 5 levels. It's called Sri Acacia, which is 27 kilometers from my house, about 35 or less than 40 kilometers from Kota Kinabalu, because my house is about 12 kilometers from the city center. But nowadays it's considered near because a lot of people, that's why the jam is quite bad. They actually drive every day to Kota Belud back and forth. It's about 1.5 hours. With really smooth traffic, maybe it's not traffic, so we give it 1.5 hours to Kota Belud from my house. I think from KK it will take slightly longer on average traffic. The roads are quite bumpy because basically the roads, whether rain or lack of maintenance, very rough, cracks everywhere, small potholes everywhere. But that's life in Sabah, really. In fact, the Kota Kinabalu to Tuaran road also, there's hardly a stretch of a smooth road. Everywhere there are patches and small potholes and undulation and unevenness everywhere. For the first time, it took me more than 3 hours in fact, I've never taken more than 2.5 hours, even in very kind of congested traffic during my 4 years in Kota Kinabalu. If there's traffic, it's like 2 hours, and if there's no traffic and I drive very fast, it's like 1.5 hours, but average is like 1 hour 45 minutes. But last Saturday, it took us more than, even I stopped around 20 minutes in Kundasang, but even deducting that, the whole trip took, or on the road, I mean driving the car, 3 hours plus, which is really a long journey considering that it's only 100 kilometers from my house. It's exactly 100 kilometers. But by kilometer 39, really, we are crawling basically with so many cars in front of me, logging trucks, one lane, one way. There's no double lane and impossible to overtake basically. So I don't envy those that live in Ranau and have to travel back and forth. The bus driver, they will, that journey is lengthened by at least half an hour due to the jam. So you consume more petrol and so on. And RON 97 is like 4 ringgit 37 cents. I got a shock. It used to be below 3 ringgit. Then went up to 3 ringgit and now it's 4 ringgit 37 cents per litre, RON 97. But RON 95 is government subsidized, so we are still paying very cheap. Is it 2 ringgit 5 cents? If it's not subsidized, it'll be over 3 ringgit for sure. Maybe it could be as high as 3.50 or more, because normally RON 97 is only about 50 cents more than the RON 95. So that's the situation in Sabah, I think throughout the world.